Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Today we're in the pre-patch to Shadowlands. We're going to be discussing the Enhancement Shaman changes. I'm pretty excited for these changes. Enhancement is one of the classes that I have wanted Blizzard to rework for some time now. This is a step in the right direction. I do think the offensive gameplay is a lot better. However, I think our defensive gameplay is still lacking, and I'll get into that shortly, but just going over the talents real quick. In general changes. So, just going over the general changes real quick, we have Chain Lightning and Chain Heal now, which will be used through Maelstrom, and of course, Maelstrom weapon is coming back. If you played, I'm pretty sure it got removed in Pandaland or Mop, but if you played up until Cataclysm, pretty much Enhancement Shaman's every auto attack, / Storm Strike, or whatever you did, pretty much anything that used your weapon, you'd possibly gain a stack that, if you gain 5 stacks of these, it would make your next Chain Heal, Lightning Bolt, or Chain Lightning instant cast. So Maelstrom weapon is back. Glad to see it. However, I don't think the damage of Maelstrom weapon is that great, specifically Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt. I think it could be buffed a little, but it is, in general, just good to see back as well. Lightning Shield is now baseline for every spec, and it is a lot... I'm just going to say it's a lot worse than what it was / is in BFA right now. Maybe for enhancement, make it special, and make it what it does in BFA now. Because right now, Lightning Shield, it's just fucking useless, to be honest. It does 54 damage, wow. So, that's one complaint. Astral Shift. Other complaint, obviously, is just no defensive still. We only have Astral Shift for defensive. Even if they give us, like, a Covenant ability that was a defensive on top of Astral Shift and not just replacing it, that would be really nice on, like, a 1-minute cooldown. I mean, Shamanistic Rage replacement. What am I even... Let's just get straight to the... Let's cut the bullshit. Just give us a replacement for Shamanistic Rage, please, because we've been lacking defensives ever since that point. Earth LE, Flame Tongue Weapon. Flame Tongue Weapon, it's just something you apply to your weapon you don't really think about. Same thing with Windfury, actually, here. And this does make me a little bit sad, because I do want Windfury to be good. But it's not. We'll get into it later, but one thing I do think is very surprising. Frost Shock is baseline, by the way. This goes into it. Frost Shock and normal shocks go into rotation now, so I'll get into that later. Healing Stream Totem. Notice my health is 18,000. Healing Stream Totem heals for 300 every 2 seconds for 30 seconds, or hits 15 times over its duration. 15 times for 300. That's a heal for about 4,000, which is actually really good. Good job, Blizzard. I guess this is our one defensive that I've been complaining about that we do need, but this is really nice. Good job, Blizzard. I like how Healing Stream actually feels like it has a benefit and actually heals for something, especially because Enhancement. Haven't even tested the Enhancement healing yet because it's just so like PTSD for me, but I'm hoping it's better, even though it looks like Healing Surge doesn't heal for much, so yeah, we'll see what that does in the future. Haven't used Healing Surge, just fun fact, because I haven't even taken damage. It's just been, I haven't even done a battleground on this guy yet, it's just been hitting target dummies and trying to figure out the rotation. So Healing Stream, Healing Surge, we all know what Hex does. Purge is Purge, Lightning Bolt is just your single target Maelstrom spender. Tremor Totem is just baseline as it always has been. Water Walking, Wind Shear, Reincarnation. That's the baseline Shaman things right there, baseline abilities. Let's go into Enhancement Abilities now. Cleanse Spirit removes all curse effects from a friendly target. I did realize Feral Druids have this now as well, except they can use it in Feral Druid form, so this will be interesting. Crash Lightning. Doesn't cost any Maelstrom, it's just, honestly, this is like your least used ability, in single target at least, and AoE it's going to be used way more frequently. Earth Shield, I'm spec'd into it, it's not baseline. Feral Spirit, you'll have Feral Spirit even if you're not spec'd into it. Also generates Maelstrom Weapon now, which is nice, every 3 seconds for 15 seconds, or in other words, when your Feral Druids disappear, you will have gained 1 stack of Maelstrom Weapon to use, and or 1 free cast. I guess that was a little confusing. You would have gained 5 stacks, which allows you to use 1 free cast. I can understand the confusion there. Lava Lash, charges your weapon, deals damage, damage is increased by 100% if your offhand is imbued with Flame Tongue Totem. I'm really hoping it is. There it is. Okay, good. So essentially Lava Lash is the same thing. Spirit Walk is the same it's always been, where you just gain move speed. Oh, wow-y. Storm Strike. I'd say this is the big change. No longer... Maelstrom's gone, in case you haven't noticed. We just rely on mana now. Good change. I like that. Storm Strike just does a shit ton of physical damage. 1,000 damage is a 20th of someone's health. This is when it's not empowered or anything as well, so Storm Strike is pretty much your button you're going to be pressing the most. Sundering, again, just a talent. Windfury Totem. I do like this change, just giving us Windfury, but I don't like how Windfury feels so useless right now. I've been running some DPS changes and some DPS checks in Windfury. It's always like 2% of my DPS, really, really low. It's like, it's always the lowest on my damage, so I'm not sure how useful this is going to be for, say, people who actually want Windfury in raiding or something like that, or even in arena. I'm just not sure it's going to really buff the person's DPS that much. And there's Windfury. You could hear the disappointment in my voice. I really want Windfury to do something again. I've tried using Forceful Winds. It seems to never stack high enough. Maybe with a lot of haste, this will change late Shadowlands or something like this. Or if there's a Covenant ability that, say, is like the Doomhammer effect from Legion, which it pretty much increased Windfury damage, increased the proc chance. It did that in one ability. If there's a Covenant ability like this, I do see Windfury kind of making a comeback. However, if there's not, I do think Windfury is just kind of going to be ignored for another expansion, and that's something that I personally don't like, but it is something I understand from like a balancing perspective, because balancing hard-hitting RNG melee attacks is probably not the most friendly. So now that we've gone over the abilities, let's kind of get into the rotation and talents. And I'm just going to be like, no bullshit here. This is probably going to be the build you're going to run unless they do change/tune. A few of the things I've run numbers, I've done quite a bit of DPS testing, to be honest. And this seems to perform the best. The one thing I would change, or the one row that I guess that's interchangeable, to be maybe 3 rows. I don't know. Anyway, here's the rows that you can kind of interchange depending on the situation. Elemental Assault, the 35 row. 35 row is really, really good. Storm Strike damage is increased by 15%, and Storm Strike now generates 1 stack of Maelstrom weapon. Hailstorm, I'm pretty sure, is my favorite. Each stack of Maelstrom weapon consumed increases the damage of your next Frost Shock by 35%. So, in effect, that increases your Frost Shock damage by, oh god, math, 175% whenever you use a full stack of Maelstrom. It's really nice. It feels really nice in the rotation as well. And one change I do like to see back is Fire Nova. Erupt a burst of fiery flame from all targets affected by your flame shock, dealing 241 damage up to 6 targets within 8 yards of your flame shock. One thing I do want to see different here, Blizzard, is if Fire Nova is taken, I want it so if I Lava Lash a target with flame shock, and while I have Lashing Flames or Hot Hand available, I'd want it to spread flame shock, to be honest, so Fire Nova can just erupt from all those people instead of just having like 1 or 2, max 3 targets if you're really lucky, being able to spread Fire Nova to everyone. But in the 35 row, Maelstrom, guys. Maelstrom or Elemental Assault. Fire Nova if you really, really want to have like the Cataclysm days come surging back towards you, but yeah. Let's talk about, I guess, the other rows and why Forceful Winds isn't that good, because it just doesn't do enough damage. Windfury just doesn't do enough damage. Elemental Blast, 391 damage for really shitty secondary stats. If it did like double the damage, I could see taking it, but it does the damage of a lightning bolt. So, not gonna take that. So, at the end of the day, you're taking Lashing Flames. Lava Lash now increases the damage of Flame Shock on its target by 100% for 12 seconds. This is really, really good and really, really strong. You'll notice Flame Shock hits for about 370 every 2.7 seconds. That is a very, very strong dot. Even by dot class standards, that is a very strong dot. Let's go into the 25 row. Each time Windfury weapon activates, the cooldown of Storm Strike is reduced by 1 second. I can see this being good, again, with lots and lots of haste where you're proccing Windfury very frequently. However, with the pre-patch and the gear of this guy currently, I don't find that I proc Windfury enough for this to really benefit. But again, at the end of the expansion, if you're proccing Windfury like a motherfucker, then this is probably a good option. So far, my favorite's Hot Hand by far. Melee auto attacks with Flame Tongue have a 5% chance. This is really, really low, but it is still personally my favorite. 5% chance to reduce the cooldown of Lava Lash by 75% and increase the damage of Lava Lash by 100%. So, with Flame Tongue, you're already increasing the damage by 100%, and then you're increasing that damage further by another 100%. So 200% damage increase to Lava Lash. This essentially makes your Lava Lash hit for the same as your Storm Strike, about 1,000, except it does fire damage. So it's going to go through everyone's armor that you come across. This is why I do think it is the best kind of choice here. However, I don't think it procs that much, but when it does proc, it's like every other cooldown is Lava Lash, which feels really nice. I do like that kind of gameplay. Going to the 45 row. The 50 row, I'm not even going to talk about it. It's really situational. The way I do the 50 row is Elemental Spirits if you want to dick around, Earthen Spike if you're doing Battlegrounds or you just want to really run Earthen Spike in Arena, and Ascendance for Arena, and if you want to one-shot people. That's my guide there. For the 45 row, fuck Crashing Storm. Haven't used that shit ever. Stormkeeper and Sundering. I just like Sundering more. They should make Stormkeeper instant cast or like 0.5 second cast or something, not 1.3 for a melee class. It doesn't make sense to me. However, I can see this being viable if you're going against like a mage or ranged or something that you just have a hard time getting to and you need that range damage. Stormkeeper, probably not that bad. However, Sundering, tons of damage, incapacitates the target, also acts as an interrupt. It's kind of the go-to. Honor talents haven't changed. I don't really want to go over these too much. Pretty much the same shit ever. I'm still going to take pretty much what you're going to see here for Battlegrounds, and then for Arena, I suppose you would change to like maybe Ethereal Form and Sky Fury Totem, maybe Grounding Totem. I don't know. It's really situational. So let's get into the rotation, guys. Finally, the bread and butter. So, the rotation for Enhancement has gone from a Maelstrom generating build and spending that Maelstrom on abilities to pressing whatever button is not on cooldown on your bar. The main priority I like to use is Storm Strike, Lava Lash, and then make sure one of your shocks is on cooldown, and then you can use your Maelstrom weapons and all that empowered stuff. But anyway, the rotation, guys. Let's do it. It's not too hard. I've already screwed it up. I was supposed to Flame Shock first and then Lava Lash, but it's not really a huge difference. So you'll notice the cooldown on abilities is quite large. Here's the Lava Lash proc I was talking about, by the way, which is why I think it's so fun. 2.5k. Literally every other global cooldown you're using is a Lava Lash when that proc is up, so it's really, really fun. You'll notice I do have Maelstrom weapon here. I'm going to use it. I will gain 5 stacks of Hailstorm. Frost Shock will do increased damage and hit 5 additional targets. Really forgot to mention that, which makes... I really think Hailstorm's going to be really broken for Mythics if every target's getting hit for that massive Frost Shock. Which makes me not even want to take Fire Nova, to be honest. But if you want to take Fire Nova, then, you know, go for it. Lots of Lava Lash procs here. You'll see the rotation when Lava Lash does proc essentially comes down to using an ability and then Lava Lashing him after it. So every other global, when the Lava Lash cooldown is up, is essentially just some random ability, Lava Lash. Some random ability, Lava Lash. I'm getting a lot of procs here. One thing, I guess that is really important that I'm still working on the rotation is maintaining 100% uptime on Flame Shock. If you do maintain 100% uptime on Flame Shock, it is going to be your top damaging ability. Definitely for single target, I can see it always being your top damaging ability, especially in raiding. But yeah, this is kind of the rotation. Again, just pressing whatever's not on cooldown, sometimes pressing whatever is shiny. And, yeah, that's about it, you know? Enhancement, I do like the feel of it now. It is more cooldown based, which I've wanted for a long time. And again, the only suggestion I really have to you, Blizzard, is give us some sort of defensiveness, whether it be from either Covenants, PvP talents, PvP gear, certain set bonuses, really whatever. I'd really just like another defensive cooldown, because goddamn are we fucking squishy whenever someone actually chooses to attack us. But yeah, this is it. I guess when there's really no cooldown... Let me rephrase that. When everything is on cooldown, you're going to be using Crash Lightning. Crash Lightning is like the one ability that you press currently. It's the one ability that you press when I guess literally everything else is on cooldown. Like, you have nothing else to press but Crash Lightning, you'll press Crash Lightning. And this is in a single target situation. In an AoE situation, Crash Lightning will have very, very high priority, I would say, but yeah. This is enhancement. I like it, personally. I think it is a good change from BFA. Current BFA enhancement. And I do think this... I don't think it'll get stale throughout the entire expansion, especially because of the interactive properties of a Maelstrom weapon and making sure your shocks are kind of balanced between Flame Shock and Frost Shock and whatnot. That, the RNG from Lava Lash should make it a little bit more interesting. But I really just think we're lacking on defensives here. Of course, Flame Shock's not on the top damage, but I didn't really maintain it that well. But, as I talked about, Windfury, it's definitely in the shitter. Buff Windfury, Blizzard, please. I'd love it to be somewhat good. And again, that'd be cool. Usually anything that's below melee, I don't really consider it to be that important in the rotation. And again, Flame Shock should be way higher. Flame Shock, if you are maintaining your dot correctly at 100% uptime and buffing it with your Lava Lash, it should be your #1 single target damage. But yeah, Storm Strike, obviously, #1 damage. #3, with the build I'm doing, is Lava Lash. If you don't use the build I'm doing, then it's going to be a lot lower. However, I would recommend this build, especially for armor people. Frost Shock is pretty high as well due to Hailstorm. And again, Hailstorm will only be amplified when you're in a mythic group or when there's lots and lots of people around you. I am actually excited to try this in Battlegrounds for like high AoE situations. Forked Lightning, it's an honor talent. It's not a normal thing. It's only enabled because it's right here. Ride the Lightning, also known as Forked Lightning. I've always liked this honor talent. It's in like the correct spot I'd want it to be in, slightly above melee, but not completely toppling all the other damaging abilities. Yeah, that's enhanced. I like it, guys. I think it's a good change. I think Blizzard's stepping in the right direction with enhancement. Again, Blizzard, these are like my 2 or 3 recommendations. Make Windfury hit harder. Make the proc chance more often / higher, or make it hit harder so Forceful Winds actually seems good. Give us one more defensive ability. Astral Shift is okay, but once that one defensive is gone, we're really, really squishy, and often we're squishier than cloth classes / healers. #3. I already forgot what #3 was. Oh yeah, nope, forgot. I guess those are my 2 those are my 2 recommendations, Blizzard. But so far, good job. I think this is one of the more better reworked, in quotation mark, to reworked specs right now. Currently only outshined by, I believe, Shadow Priest, which will be, from my knowledge, probably the next class to be doing this kind of Shadowlands Prepatch review on, but yeah, good job, Blizzard. I don't say that too often because it's a rare occurrence, to be honest, and I only say it when I really feel it, but good job on the offensive aspect of enhancement. Thank you. Thank you for making the class not bad again, I suppose. Just Windfury. Windfury and offensiveness, please. That's all we're really asking for. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, description, bell thing. Check out Twitch, check out Twitter. Let me know what other classes you want to see the Shadowlands guide / review on. I'm probably going to be doing this for all of them, but the one you suggest in the comments will be higher in the priority list to do. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you. Have a good one. Till next time. Take it easy, guys.